On June 29, 1966, the United States attacked oil facilities on the outskirts of Hanoi and Haiphong, marking the first time the U.S. attacked areas around Hanoi, a major escalation in U.S. attacks.
Defense Secretary Robert McNamara holds a dramatic press conference only a few hours after the first U.S. bombings of oil dumps outside the North Vietnamese cities of Hanoi and Haiphong. The attack was a 46-plane airstrike with both Air Force and Navy jet bombers participating. According to estimates, the raid cost North Vietnam about 40% of its gas and oil reserves. Secretary McNamara stressed the fact that only military targets were hit by the bombers. 750-pound bombs like these are loaded on Air Force 105s. Hanoi claims 7 planes down during the raid, but only one Thunder Chief jet was lost. Intelligence reports showed that Haiphong handled about 95% of all North Vietnamese petroleum imports, while Hanoi was the key distribution point. The raids represented an escalation in the air war and were the closest ever to Haiphong and Hanoi. The bombing raid was kicked off by 4 flights of Navy jets, which streaked from the carrier Ranger here and the Constellation. Navy pilots reported only feeble anti-aircraft fire, and they estimated that 80% of the target was destroyed. Their on-target bombing penetration took only 8 minutes. Secretary McNamara explains the reason for the stepped-up air strikes.
The strikes against these petroleum facilities were initiated to counter a mounting reliance by North Vietnam on the use of trucks and powered junks to facilitate the infiltration of men and equipment from North Vietnam to South Vietnam. All Navy and Air Force pilots participating in these strikes were specially briefed by their commanding officers on the importance of avoiding civilian and build-up areas. They were thoroughly familiarized with the targets and with the surrounding terrain. The strikes were carried out in good visibility, permitting clear visual identification of the targets and of the surrounding terrain. The decision to strike these targets was made to restrict and to make more costly the enemy's infiltration efforts. We believe this essential to help safeguard the freedom of South Vietnam and to save the lives of those South Vietnamese, Americans, Australians, New Zealanders, and Koreans who are fighting to ensure that freedom.